So let's get some perspectives then. eNCA's Malungelo Booi is looking at the broad debate that has been sparked by the example of the mob killing and instances of acts of bullying by young boys and girls. He joins me now in the studio to talk about this. So Malungelo, we always seek answers, I suppose, because, you know, we are sort of overwhelmed whenever these instances of this kind of violence confront us in society. You've been speaking to some experts, including an expert from the University of Johannesburg. What are they saying about how what we are seeing relates to the kind of society that we are?
That's right. In fact, Professor Jace Pillay, he's a psychologist at the University of Johannesburg. He actually says that they'd done a study previously looking into the violence emitted by young people. And of course, we're seeing a rise in these instances. And one of the things he said was that what we see young people do or act out is sometimes are things that they've copied or of seen at home. And when they are unable to solve problems in a positive way, then they tend to lean towards violence. But he also says something that's very important to us, is that alcohol abuse plays, or substance abuse plays, a very important role when it comes to incidents like this. So how then do we deal with this problem? How then do we solve this problem? Well, he says society needs to look at itself, but also saying that the government needs to play a very important role. We need to begin to start to talk to our children at a very young age that if a child is doing something wrong, say it. That's wrong. Yeah. That is not how you solve a situation. He says if we start to do things that's when we can then start to address this scourge of violence.
Yeah, so intervening quite early and also reinforcing certain behaviors, sure, even at home, because sure, we do see incidents of bullying and violence, yeah, and also acting out against teachers. Sure. I mean, I don't know how many times you and I have reported on that. We've also been hearing from the students' organization, COSAS. What are they saying?
That's right. In fact, I asked for their reaction into this incident, and I spoke to Oluthando Sonjalo. She's COSAS deputy president, and this is what she had to say to me.
I cannot say necessarily that I am shocked, but it did come as an unfortunate surprise to us as an organization that learners would pull such a stunt, because at the end of the day, as COSAS, we want to be future leaders of this country and not future criminals of this country. So we're worried.
Are you seeing that more learners are becoming criminals?
Yes, we are seeing that, and we are trying by all means as an organization, when we have our Mantombazana Convention, when we have the Learn Without Fear programs. We're trying to address the issues as much as we can, but we cannot do it on our own as a student organization.
So while we're all looking for solutions, sure, and how we start turning the tide, I suppose, in as far as violence involving young people is concerned, they're also weighing in COSAS. What are they saying?
So they're saying, Tulasizo, one of the things that they do on Fridays where in schools where they have a presence, so they would have these engagements with pupils where they speak about these issues of violence and other social ills. But what's also interesting, what Oluthando was saying, that most of the pupils come from broken families. In some instances, kids are, they are the only people at home, and so when you come from a broken home, then you're gonna act that frustration out on someone else. But how do they think that we should deal with this problem? Let's take a listen at what Oluthando says is a solution to this problem.
There should be a rehabilitation center for learners who are violent, because they have problems at home. Now, unfortunately, as COSAS, we cannot address their issues at home to the extent that we would love to, because we are an organization that is running on 0-0 budget.
I mean, you mentioned something very important, a rehabilitation center. Where must that be? At school? Where?
Okay, so let me make an example of how it can be sorted out. In terms of Learn Without Fear, normally as COSAS and together with the SAPS would go to a school, take those that group of learners who are misbehaving, go with them to your prisons and show them that, you see, if you continue with this, this is what would happen.
Interesting solution they're suggesting there. Sort of, in a way, let the reality of a life of crime confront these young people from a very early age.
And I suppose if it's coming from young people themselves, Tulasizo, why not give it a try? And in fact, she was saying that they were in discussions with the police about this and also the police minister.
Thank you so much. Malungelo Booi has been working that story for us. They're sort of reflecting on some of the violence involving young people and teenagers in our society.